Kind of tell us about how this all happened. You guys going up there to the Northwest Territory and.
Well, I think the Canadian wildlife guys got a hold of your dad to make a promotional deal. They wanted to open it up the next year for hunting. And this was year before they opened it for hunting. We were to go in with the outfitters. There was an outfitter from Alberta that had horses, and he was going to build some cabins and a camp and trail his horses in. And he didn't know whether he could winter them in there or not, because it was a long trail in there.
It begins with a legendary pioneer in wildlife filming. Wilderness, adventure, and fair chase trophies define him. A son adds to the legacy and becomes the voice for a generation of hunters. Today, the third generation pursues trophy big game in places where success comes from skill, determination, and grit. Now, 60 years of hunting tradition comes down to one defining moment.
We're the Eastmans. We've been filming and hunting for over 60 years and 3 generations, and these are just a few of our adventures.
This is Eastman's Hunting TV. It's big game hunting, and it's as real as it gets.
You know, back then it wasn't like today, where you can get on a jet plane and before you know it, you're in Yellowknife meeting the outfitter. Up there, at that time, it was an adventure just getting there.
The road abruptly ended at Ross River. And across from us in a cabin is Warner Crozier and his wife.
Remember when you stayed at Warner Cozier's place?
Oh yeah, I seen you guys on television.
Yeah.
You know how big he was when I was there?
I think I got photos just.
And they was about like that. We stayed there a few days at Warren Cozier's. Then we took off. Your dad was smart enough to go with Warren Johnson in the Super Cub, and we went with Stan Burrell.
It's all pastel, soft colors, very easy to look at. And usually there's fog and clouds hanging around the peaks. Beautiful country.
How did you determine to go on the Plains of Abraham? I mean, here you are in this vast area.
Well, it's kind of a biblical deal, I thought. They told us that we could hunt whatever we wanted, whatever we needed. They wanted us to show the people what the Northwest Territories held in the way of game. It was unbelievable. That big band of sheep there in the Plains of Abraham that we missed, well, obviously it had never been hunted. Every afternoon there was a thunder and lightning storm, and then it'd clear up. And I actually think them sheep thought our rifle shots were thunder.
My, they all jumped up. They missed the whole band. How do you miss 18 sheep? The sheep are looking around like, what was that noise? These are bad camera moves. I'm going back and forth, trying to find a dead sheep. There wasn't any. Seemed like it took forever. I'm still looking for a sheep. The second salvo, they really moved them on. They missed them standing. That's pretty tough to do. Part of the band went to the right. Whoops, shot again. Still no dead sheep.
I had a hair trigger in that gun of mine. Paraso shot, I don't think he aimed, and it scared me, and I pulled the trigger on mine. I don't even know where the first shot went. And your dad, he said, I mortgaged my house to get us guys up here. Everything I've got's in this. And you two guys make fools of yourself out there. I said, Gordon, the public wants to see those sheep get away. They want to see two guys like me and Ed make fools of ourselves and them all get away. I was actually watching the movie myself. I was glad that those two fools didn't get any of them.
You know, Danny was right about those guys missing those sheep. Everybody loves that. They all took good sheep. In fact, Dad took a Boone and Crockett sheep, but that wasn't what it was about. They were up there for the adventure, to look at the country, to see if it was huntable, and these guys were fair chase.
Did I ever tell you about the time your dad got mad because he wasn't in the movies?
No.
He finally, we see something's wrong with him. So I said, what's wrong? He says, I'm not in any of the movies. It's just you and Parasol all the time. I should be in some of the movies. And we said, okay, tomorrow morning, starting out in the morning, cooking breakfast, we'll run the cameras. You show us how. Dad was a good looking guy, you know, had coal black hair. So we get up in the morning, your dad has combed his hair, and he is perfect, like he's going to a party. And we're gonna show how we cook breakfast out in the woods, you know. He told Paris on me, now you two dumbheads, don't look into the camera when I'm making movies. Your dad got down and he was gonna say, now we're cooking some pancakes here, we're gonna have some sheep steak here, we'd shot that sheep for meat. Your dad would do about 4 words and he'd look right up in the camera and go, just like that, and look back down. And we didn't know what to do, so we just kept doing it. He cooked breakfast and said, well, how was it? And so said, worthless, you can't use any of it. You never quit looking in the camera. You know where we shot that rainbow, where we were walking through the base of that rainbow?
Yeah. Oh man,
That was 11 o'clock night. I just walked outside there and I walked over there and I seen that rainbow. And I run back in and I said, come on you guys quick. We're gonna walk through a rainbow. And they said, are you nuts? And they came out there and had George A. seen it, and then they grabbed the cameras. Boy, it was like it wasn't real.
While they were there, 2 writers came in. One named Larry Calder, who wrote for Guns and Ammo. The other one was Duncan Barnes, and at that time he wrote for Sports Illustrated. They were brought in to see how good the hunting was and hopefully do some stories to promote the Northwest Territory. They also witnessed Dad making an exceptional stalk on a huge ram, and Dad was able to harvest that ram, and it eventually went Boone and Crockett. And Dad was there for another 2 months and finally got out of that country just before the snow really started piling up.
It was a 30-mile walk on back to Godman Lake. It was a long walk. I can still remember how tired we were when we got there. And they were putting the last piece on the cabin roof. Now Cougar Long's cabin is done, a great monument to that mountain man, and it'll be here for 100 years long after he's gone. Northwest Territory was the greatest, wildest country I'd ever filmed. It was the greatest adventure I'd ever had. And you know it'll be there long after I'm gone, like I found it.
We hope you enjoyed this week's video. Make sure you subscribe to the Eastmans YouTube channel.
And we'll send you an email every time we post something new.